Hello, and welcome to this presentation that isn't book-based like most of my YouTube videos. This is a presentation I give to my students, and I change it up. But I asked my students at the end of the year, particularly my seniors, who are generally really good students, but also my younger students, for study suggestions for next year's freshmen. My freshmen just coming into high school. So this list of 10 study tips, some of which are overtly academic and some aren't, are actually distilled from comments that come from my students from the previous year. So it's a list. So you'll have 10 items on the list. I'd write them down. If you're my student, there'll be a quiz, right? We've discussed this. And in general, some of these might, if you're not my student and you're just curious, some of these might really apply to you. Some of these might be really obvious. But anyway, number one, never fear asking for help. Again, a lot of these are obvious until you try to make them habits, and then they're not super obvious. Ask for help even if you've already asked and the teacher's talked for a while, but it's still not clear. Ask again. Or if you think your question's stupid, ask it anyway. I tell my students that anytime you have a question about anything or you're confused, several other students in the class feel the same way. Be the person that's going to raise their hand and ask. So never fear asking for help. My best students every year, including valedictorians, ask me for the most help. Asking for help is not a sign of stupidity. It's a sign of being engaged, being interested, being curious, and wanting to do well. 2, establish regular connections with your teachers. Now, and then you can just pause and write the text of this down in your notes, especially the teachers whose subjects you find the most difficult. Again, people say this all the time. It's that second part that is not instinctive. I think if I'm really good at math and I have a really nice, approachable math teacher, maybe seeing that teacher during the second half of my lunch period to check in and say hi, or checking in with her before school or whatever, that's not weird because I'm good at her subject. She and I have a good connection. But what about biology? And biology is really hard, and the teacher seems very serious. It becomes really, really important to learn in life that where you have struggles and where you have to establish connections. Um, and really, it's just being honest and admitting that you're struggling and asking for help. It's really all this is. There's a separate presentation about how to ask teachers for help that you can watch. But teachers want to know when you're struggling. And if you're honest and upfront about that, you'll be surprised at how nice a connection you can make with teachers, even in classes you find difficult. 3, no matter what learning management system you have, you might have Veracross, you might have Canvas, you might have Blackboard. I know you have email, and even though it's not 1998, it's really the fastest way teachers can communicate with a bulk group of people. Um, Experienced, talented students have said, get in the habit a couple of times a day of checking your email and checking your, what assignments you have due. You don't want to be someone who checks obsessively. And this is a learning process. You don't want to be defined by every 10 minutes checking. I know students who check our grade books online as much as they check their phone for text messages or check Twitter or Instagram. It's really not healthy. It's really not healthy. So this is a balance. You want to care about school. You want to know when things are due and what's due, but you don't want it to define your day. 4, nitty gritty stuff. Do homework in good lighting, with good posture, sitting up straight, and plan short breaks. Plan your work. If you're a serious athlete, you plan your workouts. You don't just wander into the gym, right? It's leg day, it's arm day, it's whatever, right? If you're a musician and you're rehearsing the violin or the piano for a couple hours, like, you don't just sit and thoughtlessly do it. Well, really good students do this with their homework. They sit and say, all right, I have 3 subjects of homework tonight. Some are going to take a long time, some less. I generally can focus for half an hour. So I'm going to do half an hour biology, then a 10-minute break, and then a half an hour math and a 10-minute. You plan it, whatever works for you. Some of you maybe can study for 10 or 15 minutes, then figure it out. And you'll notice your ability to study it for longer periods of time happen the more you practice. But yeah, good lighting, it's just good for your eyes, sitting up straight, and plan your breaks so that a 10 or 15-minute break doesn't become an hour and a half YouTube wormhole, or like going to Wikipedia and just, doing research. Um, Again, this is just what good students do. They plan their homework time like athletes plan their workouts, or musicians or actors plan their rehearsals. 5, maybe you might find this to be the most helpful. This was told to me by someone who's a valedictorian and went to Harvard years ago, really nice guy. And he said once we got iPads, and once a lot of his work was on the iPad, his 3 hours of homework a night became 6 or 7. And it's because he hadn't turned off his notifications. So he'd be reading or doing calculus, and it would be ping, 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 and he felt the need to address them. And he was learning how to manage this technology. So he realized 2 things. And I didn't include this on the slide, but you want to have this down. Turn off all your notifications. And you'll see here messages, and any social media you have coming through your iPad or phone, whatever, computer. Just turn off the notifications. And you know what? Your break can be 15 minutes on Twitter. That's fine. But just plan it. Plan that as your break. The other thing students have said that I find interesting is they take their phone and they move it when they're doing homework really in a focused way. They put their phone in a different room, so they're not even tempted to look at it, to hear it vibrate or whatever. So turn off notifications, move your phone. It's hard. And I think this applies to any adult group of people as much as it does teenagers. I think we give teenagers a bad rap. Teenagers just learning how to manage all this. All of us have seen plenty of adults at conferences pretty much just looking at their phone the whole time and not listening. It's what it is. And your ability to do well in school, we can pretend this isn't true, but it's true. Your ability to do well in school, in high school, in college, in graduate school, and beyond is largely based on your ability to sit and pay attention to one thing. That's it. So you can either start practicing now or wait a long time and make it really hard. And I suggest starting now. 6, do your hardest subjects first. So what I suggest, I have a lot of students get to school a little bit before school. I have a lot of students who have a free period. I have a lot of students who have 15 or 20 minutes at the end of lunch. I have a lot of students who have time before practice or rehearsal starts, or they get picked up at 4 and not 3. If your hardest subject is English and you have these wedges of time during the day, don't save your hardest subject till 10 at night. Do your hardest subject first. It's a great psychological sort of feeling to know, oh, my hardest subjects, I struggle reading. I really have to pay attention. So maybe I'll just go in the library and hole up in a study carrel and really focus. And I go home with that hardest subject on. This is something you all can choose to do. It makes a huge difference. 7, really obvious. I sound old. Limit social media and video game usage. And this is all part of that planning your study time. If you're an athlete or an artist or an actor, or you work and you're busy, and you don't start your homework till 7, then take the 7 to 10 or 7-11 block of time, plan it out for 5 minutes, say what you're going to do and where you're going to do it, and stick to it. It's like anything else, like any rehearsal, any workout, any diet, any exercise plan. This is no different. Don't pretend that it's different. Don't be shocked if you're playing more video games than doing homework and then you don't get the grades you want. You don't have a right to be surprised. So this is, again, it's a choice. It's hard, but it's a choice. 8, this is in my previous video, but it bears repeating. Talk to your parents every day about school. So top students are not managed by adults, but they manage themselves. Parents will only allow this if you communicate with them. That's a fact. If you want to pause this to write that all out. Write every word of that out. This comes from my best students. So again, you don't have to like it. I know most 14, 15, 16-year-olds don't love chatting with their parents. But remember what you say you want. You want to be treated like an adult. You want to be left alone. You don't want to be hovered around. This is part of what you have to do. So I would tell you that the sooner you realize that, the easier your life's going to be. And the happier your home's going to be for everybody. 9, the last 2 are actually not study skills, but they're really important. Find extracurricular activities that keep you away from screens. So I guess what I'd say is find meaningful things to do that aren't school. This is a picture of Best Buddies, which is a volunteer organization that matches kids up with folks with intellectual developmental disabilities. And I tell students activities like this, activities like volunteering in assisted living facilities, boys and girls clubs, I just remind you that there's a universe out there that has different concerns. That's really healthy. You know, these folks just want you to be nice to them and they don't really care what your GPA is. And that's just really, really a good reminder that our world is, it's important. We have to care about it, but there's a whole other world out there. And you know what else? Like, we can be there for these folks and help them and just be kind and grow and benefit from this. A lot of you are athletes, probably. A lot of you are into the arts, volunteer work. All of these are good. Have moments of your day that have nothing to do with school, and your schoolwork will get better. I have for 26 years, students have told me that, I play a sport 2 seasons a year, and I always do better academically in those 2 seasons. I've had actors tell me the same thing. So this is really important. And then 10, it's somewhat connected. Put schoolwork in proper perspective. When you're in high school, it is your job. Like my job as a teacher, as an adult, your job if you're a kid is school. It's important, but you want to balance it with family, friends, and activities that are meaningful to you. Do the best you can every day, and then you go to bed. And you get up the next day. Hopefully, you learn something, and the next day is better. No homework is life or death. If you have a bad day, you learn from it, and you move on, and you ask for help. Your teachers love being asked for help. It's a sign that you care. It's a sign that you're curious. It's a sign you want to get better. We're not in this to help perfect people. If you were supposed to know everything, we'd all be out of work. So just be aware of what school is, which is important, but it isn't everything. There's all these other things too. I hope you find this helpful, and good luck in school.